Welcome to the Deep Dive, the new Pep Guardiola Manager Pack.
That's right. This is potentially the current best attacking manager pack in eFootball right now.
Okay, that's a bold statement.
It is, and it's because it promises to, and I'm quoting here, bring an end to long balls in Fabio Capello's iconic 3CF meta.
Whoa, okay, let's stop right there. Because ending the 3CF meta, for anyone who plays this game seriously, that is a huge deal. First, just remind us, what are we talking about with the 3CF meta?
Sure, so historically it's all about overloading the middle. You have three forwards making these, vertical runs, quick passes, just trying to break your defensive line right down the center.
It's super effective and, frankly, really frustrating to play against.
Exactly. So to claim you can just end that, plus the long ball spam on top of it, that's a revolutionary claim.
And the foundation for this revolution, it seems, is the pack's style. It's listed as possession and out-wide play style with an 89 proficiency, which is great. But the real kicker, the thing everything else is built on, is this one aggressive trait.
The very, very high defense line.
A very, very high defense line.
Indeed, and that's the core of it all. That high line is the engine, but it's also your single greatest weakness. It is pure high risk, high reward.
Because the moment you push your defenders up that high, every opponent with a fast striker is just licking their chops, right?
No, absolutely. You're basically daring them to try and get in behind you.
Well, how do you stop that from happening? If that's the foundation, what's the first thing you need to do to, mitigate that massive risk?
It all starts at the very back. Criterion number 1, the goalkeeper. And you can't just use a standard keeper here. The source is adamant. You must have a good offensive goalkeeper.
A sweeper keeper.
Exactly, a sweeper keeper. Because their job isn't just saving shots anymore. Their main role, their absolute must, is to clear those deep, long balls.
So they become the last line of defense in a totally different way. Not on the goal line, but like 20 yards out. Joan Garcia, Dida, Julio Cesar, Iker Casillas.
Yeah, that tells you the profile. It's not just about reflexes. It's about that anticipation, that ability to read the play and commit to coming off the line.
Okay, so you've got your safety net.
Yeah.
Now, what about the guys directly in front of him? Criterion 2, the center backs.
Right. If the keeper is the failsafe, the CBs have to be the aggressors. The source demands high aggressive center backs.
And they get specific here, which I appreciate. There's a number attached. Aggression more than 90. Why is that stat, aggression, more important than, say, pure tackling or positioning?
Because passive defending will kill this tactic instantly. A defender who sits back and waits creates a huge gap between the defense and midfield.
And the high line collapses.
The high line collapses. High aggression means they're proactive. They step up, they challenge for the ball high up the pitch to win possession back immediately. And of course, they still need, enough height and speed to actually win those duels and recover. But the mindset has to be aggressive.
That's a huge ask for your back line. But okay, this high-risk defense only works if you can move the ball out cleanly. Which brings us to criterion 3, the build-up.
And this is a non-negotiable rule. It speaks directly to the possession play style. The rule is always build up from back.
No shortcuts.
No shortcuts. You are explicitly told not to just boot the ball long, no hoofing it upfield. You have to play your way through the press using your defenders and midfielders. If you lose the ball in your defensive third, you will concede immediately. Immediately. There is, and this is a quote, no room for any correction. The players are so far up the pitch, there's nobody left to recover. The risk is instant.
Wow. Okay, so perfect execution is key. And to support that, you need the right structure. Let's talk criterion 4, the supporting cast.
Right, so to make the out-wide part of the playstyle work, you need to stretch the pitch. And that means you need technical attacking fullbacks on both sides.
So their job is to get forward, create overloads on the wings, and pull the opponent's defense apart.
Exactly, pull them out of that compact central block.
But wait a minute, we've got a high line, we have aggressive center backs pushing up, and now we're sending both fullbacks forward.
I see where you're going.
Okay, so this is demanding. You need a very specific roster, and you need flawless execution under pressure.
Yeah.
But if you do all that, what's the payoff?
Well, that's criterion 5, the payoff phase. First, you have to successfully get settled at opponents half through proper buildups. This isn't a quick strike system. It's about establishing dominance and suffocating the opponent in their own territory.
And here's where it gets really interesting for me. Because once you're settled high up the pitch, the system flips a switch. This is the part that supposedly kills the long ball meta.
Yes. This is where the beauty of the tactic really shines. The moment you lose possession in their half, Your players instantly exert immense aggressive pressure.
The counterpress.
A counterpress on steroids. Because so many of your players are already there, they swarm the ball carrier.
So the high line isn't just a defensive risk, it's actually an offensive weapon. You're setting a trap.
That's a perfect way to put it. It's a trap. The opponent wins the ball and thinks they have space, but they're immediately surrounded. They're starved of time. They will usually struggle to create a chance or progress the ball forward.
And that's what shuts down the long balls and the CF link-ups.
Exactly. The receiver is marked before the pass is even kicked. The opponent doesn't have the 2 or 3 seconds they need to look up and launch a long pass. The pressure is immediate.
It's brilliant, actually. You're weaponizing your own aggressive positioning. No wonder the source calls it the most beautiful thing of new Pep tactics.
It ties it all together. The risky buildup is what allows you to set the high-reward trap.
Okay, so let's try to sum this up. We have a system that demands a sweeper keeper, super aggressive center backs, attacking fullbacks, and a very specialized anchor man. And on top of that, you need near-perfect build-up play. The source is right. This sounds like it's for hardcore possession players only.
It definitely requires dedication and, probably a high tolerance for conceding some painful goals while you're learning it.
Wait a second, though. A system that needs an anchorman, 2 hyper-aggressive CBs, 2 attacking fullbacks, and flawless play. I mean, for 90% of players, doesn't that sound more like a recipe for disaster than a solution? Is this hype real, or is this only the best pack for that top 1% who can master it?
And that really is the question, isn't it? If the sources are right, if the system truly does shut down established, effective strategies like the 3CF meta and long balls, then it doesn't just offer a different way to play. It threatens to shift the entire foundational meta of the game, which leaves an important question for you, the player. If one system can be this effective at nullifying other popular tactics, what does that mean for the future? Are we heading towards a game where tactical diversity gets smaller, all in favor of mastering one specific high-risk, suffocating approach?
Something to think about as you're deciding whether to tear your squad apart to fit these criteria. That's all the time we have for this deep dive.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you next time.